I know metal. Beauty was your armor. Fragile stuff. All show. But what's inside you? That's steel. It's brave and unbreakable, and it doesn't need fixing. Hi, welcome to Katie Can't Read. I'm Katie, I Can Read, and this is my Genya David postcard. Do we love them yet? Does everyone love them? I'm introducing this postcard because today I am going to tier rank Grishaverse characters and Grishaverse ships. Why am I doing this? What's the purpose? Well, 3 reasons. Number 1, I'm very sad that the Grishaverse read-along is ending. Technically it's over, but is it? Number 2, I'm hyperfixating on the Grishaverse right now. If you know from my Twitter and stuff, then you know, like, I just can't shake it. Like, every time I open a social media app, it's like, hey, did you see new stills? Hey, theory. Hey, here's a thought that you didn't need that's gonna make you cry. Like, it's deeply affected. And I think that's entirely caused by the fact that I was hit with a 1-2 punch with Rule of Wolves coming out, and then literally next week is Shadow and Bone TV show week. And like, what am I gonna, if you guys think I'm annoying now, if you just wait until April 23rd. And the 3rd reason is, of course, that I love tier ranks, and I'm gonna do whatever I want. This is my channel, and I'm gonna try and capitalize over the fact that there's a TV show coming out, because people are gonna want to watch videos about the Grishaverse after the TV show comes out. So, haha, I'm getting ahead of the jump. Anyway, so first we're gonna tier rank Grishaverse characters, and then we're gonna tier rank Grishaverse ships. And then I have a little mini announcement for ya at the end of this. Cool? Cool. Let's just dive right in, okay? Okay, so I've got this tier rank up. This one was made by someone, and it is in Spanish, a few of the characters. So we're just gonna guess, but I think I know. Let's go through our tiers, shall we? Top tier, we have David tier. David tier is for David Kostyk. David Kostyk is the best character in the Grishaverse, and I love him. And I have always loved him since forever and ever and ever. And if you don't believe me, go rewatch all of the Grishaverse live shows, and I talk about him in all of them for at least 5 minutes. Then we have I simp. So these are the characters that I simp for. These are the characters that when I see fan art, I just like, I start to cry. Like, these are those characters for me where I'm like, yes, yes, yes. These are like the characters I read fanfic for. These are the characters I think about when I can't sleep, and I create like scenarios of them, you know, being in love. Then I have the I love you tier, and the I love you tier is just like, you're just shy of simping for, but I love you so much, you know? And usually the I love you tier is like, they're part of a ship that I like, you know? Then I have the I like you tier. The I like you tier is like the I do really like you, but I don't really think that much about you. Then I have the I don't care tier, and that's the tier for I don't care. And then down at the very bottom we have Hellgate. Hellgate is the characters I hate, and I want them to go to Hellgate and have to fight monsters. Okay, so first up we have Alina Starkov. Alina Starkov goes straight into the I love you tier. I love Miss Alina Starkov. I think she is one of my favorite protagonists of recent history. She is funny and she is fun, and I will defend her till I die. So yes, I love you, Alina Starkov. Elise Van Eck also goes in the I love you tier. This is a controversial opinion because Elise Van Eck is canonically annoying. But you know who else is canonically annoying? Me. I relate to her. I too would be trying to annoy Kaz Brecker by singing if I was held hostage. If I was held hostage, I too would exclusively sing for 3 days straight until they had to put a bag over my head. Like, she's a relatable queen. She married rich, and I admire her. Then we have Bagra, and I hate to say it, but I don't care about Bagra. Like, I like her, but I don't care. Like, I don't care. Colm Fahey. I love Colm Fahey. I know he goes into the simp category. Colm Fahey is a DILF, and I love that man. He's out here just like being the best parent in YA, and we are obsessed with him. We are obsessed with him. Aha, we've made it. David goes all the way up in David tier. David is the perfect character. He is everything I care about in a book, and he's the superior side character of all time. And I feel like if I keep talking, I will say things I regret. We have the Apprat. The Apprat goes to Hellgate. I don't like that man. He freaks me out. The Darkling also goes to Hellgate. Ha ha ha. Everyone's gonna unsubscribe right now. Here's why the Darkling goes to Hellgate. I don't like him. I think he's a really compelling, interesting, complicated villain. I don't like him though. He does so many things I can't forgive him for, like what he does to Jenya and what he does to Zoya and what he does to David. I simply cannot forgive him for anything he does. What he does to Alina, he sexually assaults Alina in Siege and Storm, ? And we're all just like, it's fine, he's hot. Like, no, that's not hot. That is bad. Guys, are we okay? Are we okay? We're not okay. Okay. Jenya is my simp tier. I simp for Jenya. Every time I see the new stills that come out for the Shadow and Bone show, and there's a Jenya still, I just start crying. I love her. I love her. Hana goes in, I like you. It's not that I don't, I just don't love her. You know, like, she's fine. Inej, I simp. She could stab me and I would thank her. I don't care about Ivan. Jan Vanek goes to Hellgate. I hate what you did to Wylan. Jesper, I love you. I don't simp for Jesper, but I certainly love him. Like, I love him fiercely, but I don't really simp for him. Juiced, I like Juiced. Juiced makes me laugh. He only had 2 problems. The moon and his mustache, and those are also my problems. Kazbrecker, I simp so hard for Kazbrecker that I have started to question my asexuality. Like, I know that if I was in Ketterdam, Kazbrecker would kill me. He would be so annoyed with me. He would not like me. At least I'm aware of these things. I just know that I would be knocking up on the Crow Club, being like, hey, I know how to throw knives. Can I join your gang? My mom let me bring orange slices and she'll give me a ride. Like, I just know that I would be trying to get into the dregs, and I also know that Kazbrecker would try to kill me. And I support that for him. I'm aware of what I am, and that is annoying. Kuwei, I like Kuwei. He's not a fave of mine, but I also don't have any issues with him. I'm honestly, even though like people are like, ew, I don't like Kuwei because he kissed Jesper. Like, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? Frankly, I'll give Kuwei some props because he was willing to make a move at like 14. Way to go, bro. Leonie, also, I like her, but like, she's not a fave. She's not a fave. Lizabetta, she's a saint. I don't care about her. I don't care. Mal, I love Mal. Mal is in the I love you tier. Mal deserves the world. And if one person comments Mal slander on this video, I will clap back with just a link to the video where I defend Mal in the cards. Marie, I like her, but I don't care enough to love her. Matthias, I love Matthias. I don't simp for Matthias, but I love Matthias. Matthias has the best character arc in the entire world, and I just think that Matthias supremacy is upon us. And every time someone on like TikTok is like, I hate Matthias, I'm like, where? I mean, like, I get maybe like if you've only read the first half of Six of Crows, like, sure, whatever, fine. But as you get to the end of the series, and if you don't like Matthias, I'm going to ask what book you read. Like, you got to acknowledge that his character development from racist to himbo is one of the most iconic character developments of all time. Anyway, Nadia. I like Nadia. Yeah. Nikolai. Simp. Do I have to say more? No. Nina, I love you. I love Nina. I love her so much. But I don't really simp for her. And I know I'm like the hot take not simping for Nina, but that's it. Pekka Rollins, the original girl boss, Hellgate. Becca Rollins would say gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss, and I'm okay with it. The King, Hellgate, I hate you for what you did to Jenya. Tamar, I love her. Tolia's not on this list. Pain. That's a hate crime. You know why? Because I hate it. Tolia, if he was on this list, would be in the I love you tier. I love the twins. They are my favorite underrated characters besides David Kostyk. They are so cool, and we don't talk about them enough. Tanta Helene, Hellgate, duh. Who is this? Who is this? I don't care. If I don't know who you are. Vasily, I don't care. Vasily, although, cracks me up, because I always think he looks, like when I picture him in my head, he looks inbred. Like, this Vasily they cast looks way too handsome. Like, he definitely looks ugly. Wylan, I love him. I don't simp for Wylan but I do love him so much. I think I don't simp for Wylan because I'm such a Wesper shipper. Like, I can't simp for either of them when I ship them so hard. You know what I mean? Oh my god, do I simp? I zimp for Zoya. Just looking at that picture of her. She's so pretty. That's unfair. Zoya, queen, legend. Zoya. We all simp for Zoya, right? Right. Cool. Let's do ships now, shall we? So now we have ships. And I was torn between doing this one and another one, but because there's one ship that I wanted to be on this one that was on the other one, but this one had more ships that, like, are actually canon, but I just have to shout out my favorite ship right now, which is Darkling and Nikolai. And you guys, like, I started saying that ironically as a joke, and it soon turned into not a joke when I realized the power that has. The banter, the outfits, the political intrigue, the lovers to enemies of it all. Like, let's just all acknowledge that it would be really, really interesting and get over it. Let's go over our tiers, shall we, for the ships. Top tier, I know metal. Beauty was your armor. Fragile stuff, all show. But what's inside you? That's steel. It's brave, and that's the Jenya and David tier. Underneath it, we have soulmates. And Jenya and David are also soulmates, but we'll get there. We have the soulmate tier. These are characters that I'm like, they are made for each other. They're soulmates. I read fan fiction about them at 3 o'clock in the morning. Then I have they deserve happiness. These are the characters that I'm like, they deserve the world. Then I have they're fine. As in, like, I don't care. They're great. And down at the very bottom, I have Darklina. All right, let's dive in. Zoyalai, soulmates. When I tell you soulmates, when I tell you they make me go feral, when I tell you leigh Bardugo knew what she was doing when she decided to put the two hottest people in the Grishaverse together. Let's all just say thank you, leigh Bardugo, for that. That was a really good choice. They're soulmates, and I adore them. Then I think this is Adric and Leonie, and, like, they're fine. They're, like, a little bit, like, to me, like, I don't know. I feel like they're just trying to be what Jenya and David were, and I feel like she's just trying to make a second Jenya and David when you don't need to do that. They're already right there. It's fine. Then we have Tamar and Nadia, and they deserve happiness. I love my lesbians. They deserve all the happiness in the world. They're literally perfect. I adore them. Then we have Helnik. Nina and Matthias deserved so much better. Sometimes I think about them and I just get really emotional. Like, they're so good. They are so good. Enemies to lovers to enemies to lovers supremacy. Oh my God, you guys, they. And there is a criminal lack of fan fiction for them. And I just, Oh my god, Kanej soulmates. Quite literally, this is the couple that I stay up the latest reading fan fiction for. One day I sat all day and read an 80 chapter fanfic of them. I haven't done that since I was in middle school. I love them. They are so good, and like, just their dynamic is perfect. And that's a perfect ship right there. That is a perfect ship. You know that fan art of the Kanej kiss, but Inej has the cloth? Oh my god. I think I'll put a picture in, and if I don't, it's because I'm too lazy to go find it again. But like, if you know, you know, like that fan art, every time I see it, it makes me start to cry, and I can't do it. I love them because it's so not rushed. The slow burn is still burning, and I appreciate it. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Jenny and David, best couple in the Grishaverse. I love them. They are quite actually the soulmates of the Grishaverse, and I almost threw hands the other day on Twitter because someone had the audacity to tweet that they think that Jenny and David's love was performative, and I said, no, just because it's quiet doesn't mean they don't love each other. Like, they love each other so much that like literally 9 times David's like, I can't focus on my work because there she is. And I'm like, this man is never not looking at his work. And the only time he's not looking at his work is when he's looking at Jenya. And that's true love. There's a lot of other moments of them in Rule of Wolves specifically that made me go feral, but I can't talk about them because that book is still too new to talk about. But there are some scenes where I'm like, they are so in love that it makes me a little bit nauseous. And I think it's rude that there are quite literally only 70 fanfics on AO3. So I think anyone who writes a Jenya David fanfic in the next week and then sends me the link on Twitter, I will buy you something off of your Amazon wish list. I am so desperate for content. I have seen maybe 4 fan arts of them, and like I own one. Like, I own one, okay? Like, there is not enough fan art, there's not enough fan fiction. So if you could just make me something, I will buy you something off your Amazon wish list. Will I? I don't know. But please, like, if you're watching this and you make things, like, please just do something, like, for me. I'm so starved, and I can't be the one writing Jenny and David fanfic forever. I mean, I wrote one, but I will not fill that tag. But I should, shouldn't I? No, I can't. I can't go back in my fanfiction writing phase. Anyway, Jenny and David are my favorite couple in the Grishaverse. They love each other so much, and I thought of this parallel the other day between Shadow and Bone and Ruin and Rising that made me start crying. Okay, so in Shadow and Bone, when David is introduced and Jenya takes Alina to go meet him, and she's like, hi David, and David does not pay attention because he's too busy working, and then she's like, bye David, and then she leaves, and then she tells Alina, she's like, don't worry about it, David does not care unless you are made of metal. And then in Ruin and Rising, he literally is like, you are steel, and I'm just like, of course he's paying attention to her. Of course he uses a metal metaphor. That is the love of his life. Anyway, we're moving on because I could make an entire video about just them. Oh, Wesper. Soul mates. Those two soulmates. They, the way that Jesper started the duology in debt and then ended the duology with a sugar daddy, like, I admire him. I admire him so much. Melina, soulmates. And that's on Melina Writes. Sorry, childhood friends to lovers is truly a superior trope. And they care about each other so much. And if you reread Shadow and Bone with the thought of looking at them, at how much they care about each other throughout the entire trilogy, you'll know what I'm saying. I adore them. Dark Lena. Abusive, toxic, terrifying, not cute, not a fan of it. I don't like it. I don't like it. If you want to talk to me about Dark Lena, don't. And I'm dreading the TV show when all of my friends are like, wow, they're so cute together. And I'm gonna be like, no, you're supposed to ship her with Mal. Anyway, Dark Lena stans have the same energy as Raylo stans, and I feel the same way about Raylo. It is disgusting, and it is not love, it is just lust. Ha ha ha! Hot take, mic drop, moving on. Hana and Nina they're fine. I still just feel like their relationship was a little bit rushed. All the way through. I'm very happy with it. Like, at the end of the day, like, I'm very happy with it. We love another set of sapphics in our universe, but at the end of the day, they're not my favorite. Anyway, this is my tier rank. Jenny and David in the top. We have our soulmates here. We have our happiness, we have our fine, and we have Dark Lena. We feeling good? We feeling good. Quick before we sign off today, thank you for watching, by the way. This was fun and casual and just kind of what I needed for this week. Anyway, before we head on, I wanted to see if this is something we are interested in. This is not an official announcement right now, but it is Grishaverse related because I made a mistake. I did not make a mistake. I made a great choice the other day at the bookstore. So I was at the Strand and I spent way too much money. I did not. I spent a fair amount of coinage on this first edition copy of Language of Thorns that happens to be signed. I have a signed Grishaverse book now, signed by our queen herself. And this, if you guys don't know the Grishaverse, Language of Thorns is a collection of fairy tales that, like, kids in the world would have heard growing up. So it's sort of like the Hansel and Gretels and the Cinderellas of the Grishaverse. Do you all remember last Christmas? I gave you my heart. Last Christmas when I read Christmas stories out loud. If yes, good. If no, there's a whole playlist of the lives I did where I read them out loud. So I was thinking maybe I could justify this outrageous purchase by reading the short stories aloud on a day of the week. And there's no spoilers for the world in these. These are just simple, fun fairy tales for a fantasy world. And I've read a few of them. They're really fun. So if a little live show series where I read these sounds like something you'd be interested in, please, like, I'm going to put a pinned comment, like that pinned comment, okay? Let's give that pinned comment a thumbs up if you're interested in that. If you're not, don't talk to me. But yeah, so I would be reading a short story of Language of Thorns once a week probably, and there's about 8 of them, I think. Don't hold me to that. Some of them might be long, so we might do 2-parters on them. I don't know for sure. And yeah, so we could read the 6 of these and have a really good time. But if you're not interested, that's also fine. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like, subscribe, drop a comment. I'm sorry for all the Grishaverse content, except I'm not sorry at all. Deal with it. It's my channel. I do what I want. I love you all. Thank you for being here. And I will see you in the next chapter. Bye.